wa lo ne ma lo ne me ma mama mama lo ne ma da lo ne ma lo ne ma da lo ma lo mo ye lo mo ye lo ne mo lo ne mo ba ne mo lo ne ma ba ne mo lo ne ma ba ne mo Ewa, Analine, where I got never. Analine, where I got never. Anaelo, malo no, na samyo. Malo no, na samyo. Monge bye, samyo. Monge bye, samyo. Monge bye, samyo. When you wing on one, when you wing on one, follow Punambaga, no never. I love my
Good evening. So I want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for joining us here this evening. I'm Alfonso Ziensot of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. I want to welcome our viewers. Today is Wednesday and it's all things considered, and hopefully the analysts going to be here and we'll be having some conversation here relative to our country and the parts of our community and all that is going on right here from the Diaspora Informative News Magazine, Liberia Public Radio. Thank you so much. Happy May week right here. Let's have a conversation, but in the meanwhile, let's take a commercial break here. And not after a commercial, but let's have some of our programs here that usually air right here. Let's take a look at this and I'll be right back.
Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers: 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786-3337, or 916-533-2048. Our customer service representatives are waiting to take your calls and give you the needed assistance. It is LPR, the home of excellent media services and your friends in business.
There you have it. That's our guy from Abdullah Gisi. He's on every Sunday right here on the Diaspora Informative News outlet, Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Always tune in. He gives free some inspirational quotes, some beautiful gospel music that will help to stimulate you. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you so much. Sissy is still having fun time with his victory. That is understandable. I want to see the time to win World Cup. They flogged the Inferno 2 times. They won victory now. And why he on LOA? Okay, guys, we want to welcome you. Thank you so much. If this is the first time, we say you are wholeheartedly welcome. This is Lpr, and we're always here to have this national conversation. Without you, we can be to the analysts. The video link is out there. Today is Wednesday. It's all things considered, and we will be getting right down to the wire very shortly. And I peruse the news, the print media in Liberia, and some of the things that are happening, and some of your own talking point. And of course, we'll try as much as possible to activate the line here as well, so you will speak your mind. Perhaps there are some things that we do not address, we do not talk about, and those things are vital. And of course, certainly, you want to talk about it. We want to welcome all of you, and of course, our own a national correspondent who has been doing extraordinary work, like Paulina Cooper, is based in Liberia, working behind the scenes. Will soon be transferring to the Ministry of Information, where she will be covering the official MICAT weekly briefing news conference. Soon we get everything in tight. That, of course, want to see you. We say congratulations to our man, Tano James Kaba, is been officially accredited at the House of Representatives, while we are still working on the upper house, that is the Senate, and hopefully our presence will be felt all there. There are a lot of things in the making. At some point in time, we'll unveil that here, so as to how we can get this network moving. And part of our responsibility is to have these national conversations, not meant to put in the eyes of national government. We want to be crystal clear. In as much we have this critical conversation here, the voice view as to how we understand and see things going. Each and everyone have their own opinions with respect to what is happening. Someone having a different view on how government or the opposition or how we still sees it differently. That does not suggest that someone is antagonist to the government or whatever interest group you're going to find yourself in. But we create these conversations in order to have be able to have a critical conversation with respect to what is going on. We just want to make that crystal clear, so that is okay with us. Man, what kind of bullshit, man? You don't know bullshit, man. Your suspension letter, you're going to be the first time to see how you call it. You see who's suspending the board chairman. So I don't know why you like to seek attention, this old man here. Don't even go there. So, well, folks, good evening, welcome. Let's go back here. Let's try to make quick adjustment here, and we will get the program rolling to right here in a few minutes. Welcome to the show, and let's have a conversation. Okay, let's see this one here. Where is the lover boy? Where is the lover boy? Where's the lover boy?
Hello, listeners. This is Mazola, the lover boy. I'd like to invite you to this exciting program. It is called Dancing for Jesus. It is intended to play beautiful inspirational music to help you turn your life to God. Join me on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is our way of showing appreciation to God for the good things He has done for us and continue to do. Don't miss this opportunity. Join Mazola Gizi on every Sunday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the program Dancing for Jesus. Please be there because I will be here to rock it up for you.
That's the lover boy. Please be there because he will always be there. So good evening, welcome, Sister Richard. It's good to have you here this evening. Our man, my man Paul Double, right there from Philly. Good to have you. Maria to Nelson, good evening, to welcome, wherever you're watching from. Thank you for being part of tonight's program. Man Philip, good to have you here. We really appreciate Paul. We say which is always in the house here. We do appreciate all of you guys here. Felicia, good to have you here as well. Momolo, man, from Des Moines, Iowa. How is Des Moines doing there? It's good to have you here as well. And to all of you, if this is the first time we say you are wholeheartedly welcome. You are on the official news outlet of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We are here Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. The Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, you come here, please. Don't get discouraged because sometimes you will hear a guy who is on this network who is 99% of his time, his presentation, so ridiculous. He doesn't give you the opportunity to speak your mind or exercise your right as a citizen to talk about your country. But his goal is to speak his language, to speak his tone. So he developed an artificial phone line, more or less. He's in the States, but it's being operated by the Chinese. So if you come here on Monday and Tuesday, don't get discouraged. Make Wednesday, Fridays, and Sundays your day because this is where you're going to have a fair share where you will be able to speak. So when you come on those other days I'm talking about, just buy your tongue, get a cool drink, and you're going to move on. So I want to welcome Mr. Slangat. Good evening. It's good to have you here. How is Philly? We are hearing what? There's a storm, snow is coming. I don't know why it should be at this. It should go around California area and stuff like that. It's still coming here. But anyway, just in case I get ready for it, we don't know how. Sometimes there were predictions say going to be heavy, going to be this feet, but it doesn't go that way. Whatever the situations, just get ready for it, and you'll get a know. Okay, so well, that is ongoing, and we will intend to discuss all of those issues. And as a matter of fact, we will also activate the line here. Let me make sure it's properly connected. And like I said, you'll be able to have your say because there are some things we talk here. It doesn't matter to you. So you also have the ability. It is all yours to speak your mind. That what makes the program all things considered. Whatever you want to talk about that you think is vital to our country, or we are not even addressing here. We are not talking about it. Not that it's on purpose, but it's just not on our talking point. So we will, you have the opportunity to discuss all of that as well. Okay, let's see what some of the major news outlets saying. What is happening inside Liberia? Liberia every day gets its own news now. So let's see here. Monrovia City Court. What remains 2 new defendants in the capital arson case. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Saw a lot of posting. Too much going on. Some of these news it has to be verified. As you know, we have a very divided country, politics as a whole. So you have the blockers, you have the propagandists, all out there manufacturing news in any possible way they can to satisfy their own political base, as you will. So not everything you see out there is credible. You want to always verify those informations, if possible, to go just further beyond to make sure that you're okay. Mr. Candidate, friend World Candidate James watching from Ahoyina around the Liberal. So the Liberal is in Saxton here, but good to have you here, Brother Candidate Emmanuel Tia. Good to have you here as well. So I will put this number out here this evening. It's part of our way to empower people to speak too much. It's like every other day you wake up, some kind of stuff, either alleged corruption, the other official bought this car. I don't know whether it's a car competition or exhibitions. And if one get a car, another one got to get their own car. It's too much. So we don't know what's really happening. And that's some of the things that we say, oh, you are right next door, next neighbor, Boston. Okay, welcome to the Bay State. I good to have you here, buddy. Yeah, so it is what it is. So we're going to put this number out here this evening for us to have a conversation. Interestingly, on this network, we don't usually say it your way. We are not for, we are not against, we are not neither a resistant group against, for, or the oppositions. We just stand in a gap to intercede, making sure that these issues are discussed and people are given opportunity. It doesn't matter which party or which group you affiliate with, directly, indirectly, somehow, some way, someone is protecting their own alligator. So that is a normal thing in Liberia. But tonight, Wednesday, is great because the independent minds of this network, they will allow you to speak your will. They will. We are more listeners. We want you to tell your story, what you encountered. We just sit here to facilitate this conversation here. So when we hear on Wednesdays, on Fridays, and Sunday, trust me, it's a good conversation where everybody given the opportunity. And so here our own educational analyst, Dr. J. Otavius Mali, who is the co-host. People try to create confusion here. The liberals wing of the network try to create a confusion here, to always make up story. They collaborate with these Minnesota politicians. Oh, they're not fired the co-host. You saw what you're doing. It's not working. It's not working. But I'll continue to do that simply because they are seeking unnecessary attention. And the chief architect of this here is the liberal on this network. It's the liberal. He's in multiple places at the same time. The no stability wing of the Liberty Party, the Charles, where his name said, Nyombi Kanga, the long wing of the Liberty Party, he's affiliates with this group. They don't know him. He's been kicked out. Now he's seeking to refuge with the guys in the Bear World, that is the Unity Party. So he's now a strong fanatic of the boycott. He supports fanatic Kofa. Every little bad thing the liberal mark is always there. So who is he? What makes him a real liberal? What does he really to represent? Let me bring in Dr. Malice here to get a sense here. We need to profile this guy here because enough is just enough. Enough is enough. Let me bring in Dr. Mali. Dr. Mali Jones is the educational analyst and one of the independent minds of this network, making news fair, balanced, and proportional. Dr. Jones, good evening. Good to have you here.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me tonight. It's a pleasure to be back again.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to do the unusual here, and I hope you should be comfortable with it because I think it is time to call people out, even if it is our own. We, as you know, the traditions of the independent, we do not protect. Sometimes we differ on things yet. We don't scream. We don't take it personal. But like the other folks on the other side, little thing get them upset. Have you tried to go much deeper to understand this liberal on this network, what he really represent? Who is he? Have you tried to establish his true political identity?
Well, I really don't want to believe so because you see the liberal and his congregation. He and his political congregation. They're not hot and they are not cool on this platform. At some point, they try to pivot. And at some point, they put themselves into check. But you see, when you are independent, you don't need to pivot.
Right.
You don't need to pivot. You don't need to care. You are just who you are. But when you want to be independent and at the same time you get the the other side of you where you want to be a loyalist. I mean, people see you stumbling many times, you know. I think just yesterday, by chance, I came on the program, but it was a little late. But I saw this big topic going on. What happened to Liberia? Why is our country going in that direction? Why this country is going like this? You know, I said, but these are people who are supposed to be thinking independently. You see, these are some of the utterances that I believe should be attached to independent mind people. You see, some people were complaining. The Liberal and his political delegation were complaining why Liberia is going like this, and the men will go over there trying to re-angle this thing here. Oh, we don't understand. Truly, you don't understand why Liberia is going like that. You don't understand.
He is unable to call Joseph Boycott, even if he's doing the role, for which he has managed to kind of rally. He has brought in this other guy from Iowa, James, is bringing Jerry Washington on the side. What the other men, Dr. Toto, another LPP dropout, all of them. I mean, they are the remnants of the Brom guy. This is amazing to see what these guys are doing. And now,
but see, we got to be very mindful of the political dropouts. We got to be very careful with them. Political dropout can be 3 times dangerous to future agenda programs and other things, because like their color, you don't know what are the chameleon color. I don't know, but we gotta be very mindful of political, not only political dropout, but potential political dropout. We gotta be very careful with them on this.
And just to add to that, these political parties that are on life support, they don't have no headquarters, they don't have no chairperson, but they are just all over the place. They are affiliated, and they are very calculative. They use these words. I'm an admirer. I just support. Come on, are you just to be admirer for 2 years? Okay, to believe in the Liberal is here. We say it in front of him. We don't have to say it in his absence. That's who we are.
But CEO, we say it as it is. We don't talk behind a political dropout. We say as it is. When we're not on the platform yet, they crucify our true hour, but we don't care. We are independent people. We are very perseverance. And it's like we are cool guys. It's like we don't take them to task and we don't even pay back. You see?
Oh, I forgot his
we know where they stand. Yeah, even the political revenue, he's even surprising me now there, looking at he have been baptized finally.
They are all successfully graduated from the Liberal school of how you call it? I don't know, school of Total or whatever it is. The Liberal Progressive. Good evening. So welcome.
Good evening, Mr. So. I'm just sitting back here, enjoying myself, laughing, watching you and Dr. Mali try to find your footing. You don't even know exactly whether you're independent or you are not independent. In order for you to make your position relevant, you have to bring in all kinds of things, bring up political dropout and all that kinds of name calling, just so that the audience will try to gravitate towards you. I can rest assure you, Mr. So and Dr. Mali, on a very serious note, you guys are on a failing position. You are unable, you will not be able to succeed to try to put the Liberal on the side and believe that people will gravitate towards you because they believe you're independent. A man such as Dr. Malish that are preaching to bring in Bella Yala in the Republic of Liberia. A man like a Dr. Mali who is preaching for the capital punishment in Liberia, and you call himself an independent? Far from it. But this is what we have to deal with. And that's why we call ourselves the counterweight for your conservative view, which will not be successful on this platform, for you to try to make this platform to be like a conservative platform. It's not going to happen. I'm here, and I'm here as a counterweight to you and Dr. Malley.
Dr. Mali, let's take a look at some of the things that are happening in the past years, and we were always calling out. Let's watch this and see.
Things are getting out of hand in Liberia. I'm not too sure why, but from everything that we've been reading, it doesn't look good. It seems like people are just taking a matter into their own hands. I'm not too sure. And someone like me, one who supported this government during the campaign heavily here on this LPR platform, we were accused of coming from the southeast and then going all the way to south.
Holding them accountable in their own. What was he really talking about? Things are getting out of hand, yeah, bad. And what was he saying? Do you have an idea? He didn't coordinate. He tried to be very strategic, politically calculative. But my guess he was referring to his guy, Joseph Boycott. But he tried to salad dress it to walk a phantom because he doesn't want to face a backlash from the Boasians.
But I don't know when our counterpart start to speak the type of languages, things are getting out of hand. I don't know what's happening. This is the making of your government. You made this government. So when you keep telling the Liberian people things are getting out of hand, call name. Be straight to the point. Things are not just things are not falling in place yet. There's some progress, but things are falling out of hand. And Libra is right about that. You see, but just that when it comes to calling name, I think that's where the problem is coming from now. Yeah. Call the name. Things are falling apart. How?
What is it?
From which sector? The last time the Reverend accused me that the platform is anti to government. Who can be doing this?
Can you imagine?
Yes. Oh, this Mali is anti to this government. You want to see? No. We are doing this government justice. We try to be that independent mind to look at it the other way around. This government is our government. We will praise this government when things go fine. When things doesn't go fine, we are going to speak out. You see, we don't want to be like the liberal and his political congregation. When things going wrong, they beat around it. Like for instance, the clip you just play, thing going out of hand, thing going out of hand, thing going out of hand. I mean, what are you talking about?
Okay, so let's in the interest of fairness, let me just bring in here. Let us
in the interest of fairness,
a little bit here. You know, liberal, I don't know whether it was a prediction or where that came from, but let's have a little bit flashback. Are things still getting out of hand?
Very good.
Mr. So, once again, you and Dr. Mali, because I don't see any co-host as a liberal here. He's not a LPR educational analyst. He has been fired from a co-host position, and because of that, he's no longer have the title of a co-host. So let's put that aside. But this is what I want to tell you guys. You see, when you do these kinds of stuff, then I will use the word intellectual dishonesty. It's what is coming from both of you here tonight. Intellectually dishonest and unacceptable on the intellectual platform. You play a clip that has a premise, but you refuse to show the context. You refuse to show the trail of everything else that follow. You are now becoming the Fox News of Liberian Public Radio, Mr. Soul. You are now becoming the whatever the Australian guys that are running Fox News. This is unacceptable. You have to be clean with us. What was the thing that I was saying? Yeah, I went on. I have a show for 2 hours. You mean that's the only thing I went on the entire 2 hours? There's the whole things are getting out of it. This is the difference between us and the so-called, I won't even dignify that to call it so-called independent. This is the difference between us and the non-independent calling themselves independent. We speak the truth, and here comes another yo independent. We speak the truth, and we hold our government to the feet to the fire, and we speak our mind. Unlike you, who for years, this gentleman shaking his head, for years was a praise singer. Now he has seen the light out of a sudden. Unacceptable. Mr. So, go up and count down. This government under President Wakai is the right choice for you and your people. I want to tell you this. This other man, I told you already, let him move to Grand there. Let him move to the southeast. We already threw him there in the Sierra mine. We already canceled his birth certificate in Lofa County. We have now assigned him a new birth certificate for the southeast. I'm serious about it because I'm on the ground. I'm talking to people on the ground. Let me just tell you this, Mr. So, if you don't know this government under President Wakai will be able to redeem himself. I say again, things are not quite the way they're supposed to be. Things under President Wakai, since you want me to be specific, things are not the way we were hoping under President Wakai. We understand that. But here's the thing that I told you yesterday, I'm going to say again. President Wakai, that I know, has a redemptive spirit within him. President Wakai has not only redemptive spirit, he also forgiving person. He's not vindictive.
What?
And Mr. So, the liberal is speaking. When you and your man were talking your tabata, I was drinking my juice. I was not saying anything. Let me speak my mind. President Wakai, he's not vindictive like the other person that was there. Mr. So, President Wakai has not gone to a football game in other country. Mr. So, President Wakai doesn't go out and borrow money and put the money in his own pocket. Mr. So, your man, I made up to talk plenty thing here tonight. Your man, I made up to talk plenty thing here tonight because when you make up to talk plenty, you will regret it for bringing us on. You will, in fact, you will shut me off because your man, I made me to talk plenty. I know plenty thing. I don't want to say it. I fear the guy from Connecticut is already texting me, begging me to limit my speaking time. Thank you.
All right. I don't know why you're carrying your own pressure and stuff, or drink more juice. Drink more juice so you can get dehydrated or whatever it is. Okay, it's the Reverend. Good evening. Welcome. Hey, Keto.
How you doing, Mr. So?
Good to have you. Yes. What's this guy? Do you have an idea what he was saying?
Well, I would just like to say hi to the rest of the panelists, the liberal.
I don't want to speak to you.
The greatest CEO.
I want to engage you. I don't want no hard. There's no kumbaya between you people. No kumbaya. No kumbaya. Let's talk. Let's get straight to the point and debate the issue. No kumbaya.
Oh no, your pressure gonna go up shortly. Don't worry, I'm coming for you. So the greatest CEO and the doctor, the pastor, wannabe politician here on the my own brother Terry. No, on a serious note. Liberal, people are dropping faster than you think. Slow down. We know your expectation for this government was so high. This is the reason why you people came and you peddled all the information you put out there for somebody you know nothing absolutely about. I can understand that you are praying for redemption. But I will tell you again, Mr. Ho, the sooner you understand, the better. That this old man has no substance. This old man has absolutely no integrity. This old man has absolutely no creativity in governing this nation. This is the reason why his boss, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, did not even endorse him to be president after she left office. Because of his vindictive, his evil, his condescending, you understand? his unforgiveness of people. And I hear you talking about this man can forgive. Forgive where? Where? You know the story of Mr. Bwaka. Unfortunately, we will save that for another day. The thing about it is, I know this network is here to stay. So, Libra, everything that we do on the network, we will save it in the archive because we'll bring you back. Remember, CEO, we'll bring you back to memory lane so you can eat your word.
Yes.
You can be like the citizen that you force the feet in the truck. We'll make you eat crow on this network. So the sooner you realize, the better for you. I'm so disappointed in this government today. I'm so disappointed. And you know, the people say, old people say, what, gray hair is wisdom, old age is wisdom. But what I'm saying now, I don't know how to express it. I don't want to express in this network because we got people of civil mind and integrity. So I'm gonna just leave it like that. But for people to tell me this day and age, that gray hair now is wisdom, knowing the type of person we got as a leader, that other person, I think wisdom passed him long time ago.
Okay, the house is almost or is already crowded.
So I check in the P first. That was my opening the door. The P
So
first.
what he has done, he's sending messages to his allies to come as well to begin to do what they can do.
Oh my God!
See, the Reverend is here. The other guy from Delaware.
There we go.
Yeah. The Washingtons are coming to.
There we go. Moses Washington.
It's come. I don't know how Liberal managed to rally this base here and
No. If you do it in 4 a.m., look at him. If you know it.
Yeah, how a papa can operate too now. He had a ball when he throw bomb. They gotta say go to Tanzania, you go to DRC Congo. By the time you come out, everything's quiet. You took the people saw from Grand Crew and talking to the Pope. By the time the Pope was like, hey, say you're money man from there. Let me bring in Terry Collins. Let me bring in Terry Collins. He is our senior analyst. Mr. Collins, Mo's a security analyst of the Liberia Public Radio. Welcome. Look, this alleged corruption, and I see most of them talking here, they are whining, they are crying like a little babies now because they didn't do their due diligence. And perhaps these people try to validate the president's comment in Lofa. I don't know. That's what coming to pass. You do it and God bless people. Go buy $5,000 car. You like it, you carry it to the other highest here. But let's see here. Mr. Collins, good evening. Welcome. This is All Things Considered. What's the news? Why? I learned that they said there should be some demonstrations in Minnesota tomorrow or when this weekend. How true? Have you heard that?
I've not heard that.
Some sort of march or whatever it is. I don't know what they're marching for. Somebody sent me. I said, well, they got my guys, credible guys. They have never heard anything of that, but it just came to mind. But that's not our conversation. But let's hear you. We just want to know what's going on within our own communities as well. But today is Wednesday. All things considered. What's going on?
Well, there are a lot going on in the country. New suspect found to the arson burning of the Capitol today and all of that. And people allegedly accusing one of the lawmakers of giving them money to facilitate the burning of the Capitol. Those were some of the findings today. Another update is that Samuel Koga almost falling in my prediction. Samuel Koga have been recognized to be the man to take over Senator Prince Johnson's position as the wife of the late senator, have endorsed him to be the next guy in line to take over. So Samuel Koga joined the MDR today and rejoined also, I don't know. And those are the things I'm seeing. I also saw that the buses that Sir Joseph from the CDC brought in Monrovia to run as a transportation for the people of Monrovia City, as he said it should be for. He have now given the buses to Meta Steel. These buses are running in Nima County for Meta Steel. This is the country we are living in. That the seditions will come on the network having the audacity to keep projecting that they are the best government to be recognized. But guess what? Sir Joseph had given the buses that he promised the Liberian people that he was going to give them to be running in Monrovia City. He turned over the buses, I think, to Meta Steel. And those are some of the updates that I saw. But there are so many things. You know, Liberia is never lacking information, news, bad news, and all of that. So it is like.
Were those private, as far as you are concerned, before I go to Moses, were those private thing or were they bought on? What's your own take on that? Because
well, it was private buses.
I will talk to him.
It was private buses, but I guess he's promised that it will be used in Monrovia City for the transportation of people.
Don't come to Tabata here, man, Terry.
No, listen, it was reduced.
Where's the promissory?
President Real leadership, he said that was his contribution to the people of Montserrat County.
So what's the promissory?
But as we speak, it was placed under the MTA. It was placed under the MTA. But as we speak, those buses have been retrieved from under the MTA and now running in the bush. The company have already given a contract to him for those buses to be running. So those buses have disappeared from Monrovia City.
Terry. Okay.
Reception.
Okay. Deception. Bring all the contract people. Where are you found? They got a lot of stuff going on here. That's why you need to tell us. You don't have no curry in Delaware? Donald Trump not telling you, the message will go after Joe Biden.
You know Donald Trump don't like us already.
So look, most Terry here this evening. He tried to find something for the Liberal to hang on for them to run with. That's the whole strategy of this whole thing here. I'm not going to go there. We can discuss that. But most, good evening. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Brother Saw. And hi to everyone on the panel. I see Kenneth here and Dr. Mali. The Liberal himself, I watched the show yesterday, but he didn't give me no credit. He didn't recognize me online.
They met done with you. As long as you go against
I couldn't talk, but you were recognizing all the women there. You were saying welcome, thank you for coming, but I didn't hear my name, so I just want to say something about that. But no harm done, Liberal. No harm done. I still love you. You know that, right? Thank you. Thank you.
I told Terry we're going to go to Swakoko or Kokoya car. Then that's Joseph buses running. The buses are running in Liberia. They're not in Burkina Faso. So let's see the actions of the president. Look, Mos, this thing here, enough is enough. I don't know. Have we not reached the boiling point of all of these alleged corruptions? This guy, there are certain people being suspended because of why, whether because they are not his party thing, and other people have that sort of give away, just wave and just say, you know what, let the media people talk, let the Liberian people talk. Who cares? When they talk and talk, they're going to get tired.
Yeah, I know that, brother. The corruption thing will never go down in Liberia and all over the world. But Liberia is extra when it comes to corruptions and stuff like that. What Terry was saying about the buses, in fact, at the end of the game, I think Sir Joseph granted 2 buses to Lofa County team for winning the championship. So he does that as well because he negotiated for the buses and took those buses to Liberia and said it was going to run in Meserado. But some of the things that are really on my mind today is, number one, I read something 2 days ago about the legislative body, especially on the senators in the Senate, that they were looking to address the issue of the siege, the halting by the Trump government of aid going to Liberia, and that the country depends on a lot of these aid. So they were calling in the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Justice, the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Education, the Minister of Foreign Affairs to come and see if they could have conversation around the heart of AIDS. So I am presuming, assuming that these people, the budget passed recently, will pass on the promise of receiving $500 million from the MCC and all that stuff that they qualify for. They included that in the budget. That means that we have no resource to raise money in that country. And these people depending on the money that's supposed to come from UNICEF and all of these people, US aid, to come and fund the Liberian budget. And it's just mind-boggling for me. The other thing is that these things that are going around with people sending information because of the deportation and targeting Liberians here, and even our people in Liberia, they should be praying, because without people in the diaspora sending money to Liberia, I don't know where they would be, really. And they're there making jokes, and they need to take that seriously. I came by the end of the show last night, and I saw the president or some representative of EULA on there. I don't want to go into EULA because some of us have been in the immigration issue, vanguard, since 1991. We've been working on the immigration issues. So I'm not sure what the embassy is going to do as far as deporting Liberians. I don't know if they have a list, but there are all kinds of messages going around, and they're doing the scare tactics for our people here. So I think at some point we need to understand that we hold some leverage on being here. We may have, we are not undocumented as a group of Liberians. We came here with document, but we overstayed our visa. And we have been on TPS since 1991, when it was first implemented in the United States. We were among 7 countries that were given TPS. And the person who instrumented that was the late Edward Kennedy from Massachusetts. Since 1992, the first time they granted TPS to anyone. So the TPS issue affects millions of people in this country from different walks of life. So we got to be mindful. And you know, we also know here that there are people who are impersonating as ICE people and going in and arresting people and asking whether they're legal or not legal. As we saw in the first Trump administration, when these guys got together and formed their own, what they call them, group, and went to the border and said,
Okay.
go to the border. So these are some of the things that are on my mind. But Liberia issue has to do with our legislators and looking at how they can secure funding to, you know, balance their budget or offset their budget.
Well, they will come to their senses. They've been having some this ridiculous way of rationing money among themselves. Now they will have to adjust themselves accordingly. Okay, let's go through the room. Dr. Mali, have you?
Yes.
Have you established what's on your mind?
Oh yes. Tonight.
You made me speak before Dr. Mali?
No, that's okay. Security analysts. We are independent. We always
give our rights to people just to have
yeah, that's what we do here. We don't bite and blow.
That's not true. You guys are being on the dishonest again. This is not how the show is run. That you're going by the rules, and then now you're going to step out and say, no, we
Liberal, will you please start disrupting our conversation? You're not in charge, so why were you? Those are self-ruled by yourself. Keep it. When you come on your program, then those rules are applicable. Not here tonight. Dr. Mali, go ahead.
Yes. First of all, I want to welcome our security analyst, Mr. Keta, one of our analysts, the pastor, Liberal. The facts are speaking for themselves right now. And we don't want to compare and contrast this government and past government. But at some point in time, even the Liberal and his political congregation will be forced to confess. However, I don't understand under this war why the government will craft its budget relying heavily on financial handout. I don't know. I don't. It bothers me a lot. How will you craft your budget? Then you say 40% we're looking up to the diaspora to come in, but besides that, you're looking up to the United States government to facilitate half of your own budget. So it's like still looking up to handout. You see. But anyway, that's not my concern tonight. I was just trying to buttress the security analyst, some of his wise points. But what on my mind tonight is a kind of a contribution to how we can carry on policing in Liberia, track down murderers, and how I can bring some suggestion to the national police force and the security apparatus. Yes. And also challenging the IG who once lived in this country and now using his expertise and his contact to help his department so the Liberian people can sleep in peace. That's the direction I'm going in tonight.
Wow, that's important. Thank you.
This is who we are.
That's important.
What we do. We don't just critique. As we critique, we also put forward solutions. It's up to them to listen to them or listen to the liberal wing of this network who has not done anything and they can't get anything out of them. Dr. Mali, what a great one here. Keto, let's hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I listened to my brother Terry talking about they arrested some new people connected to the alleged fire at the Capitol, and I use alleged intentionally because, as far as concerned, we do not have any professional in the country to determine arson. So, I still do use that word alleged. I was reading the report. The so-called confession, and it's very laughable. And so I don't know how the government going to tie Dixon Sibo with that thing over there they're talking about. But one of the things that caught my attention today was the LEC saga that is unfolding in the country. Now, the Ivorian Electricity Corporation has written, in fact, they wrote the Liberian government put out information out there that the 50, I think, kilowatts we're getting from Ivory Coast has been reduced to 85%. It means 7 kilowatts that they're going to give us now instead of the 50. So it tells you how this government is proceeding when it comes to the lives of the Liberian people. They came to power that they were rationing current in Liberia. We'll get current in Buchanan. I'm not Buchanan, in Ralphie. The next day, Ralphie will go off. We'll get current in Painesville, and they were on and on. Today, we even getting the current. The country is in darkness because the source of our electricity now said, no, we can get not 50%. We're cutting it down to 7%. Can you imagine that?
Okay, let's just get that beat. Everybody kind of give into a little beat, and then we'll go around the room to kind of like have a conversation each here. Let me go to Terry. You ever had a chance to tell us exactly what's on your mind tonight? You did?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Okay. What's about the liberal? He was all over the place, so I'm not sure where he's going.
Well, thank you, Mr. So. As I stated earlier, there's no kumbaya here. Yeah, I'm not here to laugh. I'm not here to smile. I'm here for serious business. And because the Liberians are watching us, Liberians are tuning into us. And so when we come out here to talk about things we believe in, we have to take it serious. When we come out here to face this camera, which we almost are pretty much showing ourselves for who we are, we have to be serious. And we're not going to come out here and miss words. We have to be precise in our pronouncement. We have to make sure that when we come out here, that we are here to engage truthfully, intellectually. We're not going to come out here and make up stories. because the story perhaps is going to favor us. We're not looking for audience to favor us. We're looking for audience to listen to us and to disagree with us or agree with us. This is an open conversation. And so I'm not here to come and say this is my friend and this is woman. There's no laughing matter here tonight for me. So bring it on. Whatever it is, I'm ready to take you guys on. Because we going, you know, one of the things we learned from you guys, the mistake you guys, the CDC group like to put their foot in your mouth. One of the things we learned from you is that your inability to defend yourself publicly. You were not able to challenge, even if it is true or not. You let the rumors fly. We're not going to let you do that. You bring anything that is not true, we will push back and push back strong. This government was elected by the people of the Republic of Liberia. This government came to this position through the front door. And this government is doing well. This government is doing well. Now, what we said again, the government is not doing everything that we hope will happen. But for goodness sake, it's a government. Bureaucracy is everywhere. Even here, look how much America is shaking up because of Donald Trump. And you want to say the small country that Liberia, President Baka is doing everything possible. Tonight, hundreds, millions of Liberians will go to sleep and get up in the morning. And you're going to sit down here and expect me to kind of laugh when people come here with untruthful statement about the government, what is happening in the Gulf country. We're not going to do that. I'm here.
You see, this is sad because when you argue your point like that, it kills the substance of your conversation and it shows how intolerant you are politically, that you are unable. So, I don't know why getting you upset. Drink your juice and calm down. I don't know, there's some sort of insulin or you taking to bring your whatever
Too
down.
easy. I had to make pressure go up there more today.
Yeah. Well, you try, you are here for down something here, you're on your own. We don't have insurance here. So calm down, talk your case, be able to sell your candidate's agenda.
The reason why I'm not going to calm down because you guys are not being truthful.
Okay,
you are not about to discuss issue truthfully. Your intent is to throw this government under the bus, and we will stay in a way that no government is going to go under the bus here tonight.
This is sad because you become so judgmental of our conversation. You having your talking point, Terry having his point, your guy Moses is having his point, but you just crowding everything up. But anyway, I understand this is what happens when you have people who are so call themselves die-hard, but they are on the losing end, and then they hang on to anything for survival. Okay, Dr. Mali, let's start with your point quickly, and each and every analyst is going to throw in their weight. You say you are going to be, you intend to make some suggestions. How you got to this point? What are those suggestions? Do you want to share some of them with us briefly?
Well, I just realized that as independent analysts, we always come with critique followed by very good and wise suggestions and recommendations.
Correct.
Yeah. In that much, we want to throw the spoon at the child. Equally so, we are mindful of not deforming the face of the child. And I have come to the position now where I will be making series of recommendations to the government of Liberia through this platform, where the fair shot, even though that should be the responsibility of the Liberal and his congregation, but they have fallen short of their expectation. So we have to come in to close the gap and help them out.
Absolutely.
So what is that gap? What's your recommendation, sir?
The gap is remaining silent and just speaking at other people. We don't want to pick at other people. We want to present some tangible recommendation. So, and presenting it is closing the gap.
Okay, so let's go in your photo, Dr. Mali.
Yes,
very fascinating. Let's hear some of those.
Yes, my concern is about the crime in Liberia right now, where there are some area no-go zone, like Kerry Street, red light, you don't pass there around 9, 10. According to some of my relatives that live in Liberia, because sometimes I try to really get these facts from most of them. So we are not yet, I'm not yet to really discuss about the crime, but I have a few suggestions here. One, it has been confirmed that the IG, the Honorable IG, once lived in the United States. If that it is true, then my recommendation to the IG is for him to use his contact, write a letter, and get a support coverage letter from His Excellency. Then he can liaise with EULA that will connect him to some senators in some state, including my state. And we can team up with the police department. The analysts would know exactly what I'm talking. The police department in Rhode Island, let's use it as an experiment. Read a letter, say, look, our police department is down. We have just come from war. We are asking for used police car. We are asking for used fire extinguisher. We are asking for used boots, belts, and uniform to help our police department because we have just come from war. These people, they love when you beg them. Trust me, they might end up not even giving you used things. They might end up, because they like that name, they will end up giving you some of these things. So when he read this letter and get a cover letter from His Excellency to acknowledge that, yes, it's true, we need these things, I'm sure those are all on the ground in the Liberia Liberian Community Association, including that of EULA. We can soften the ground before they even come and make the presentation and make the request. That one suggestion. Another suggestion is like, we don't have, according to my sources, we don't have forensic pathologists in Liberia. So how do we get one? We get too many crime scene in Liberia, people die. We have to call people from outside to come. So I was suggesting, if the IG can put a package together through the president, and then they have forensic pathology school in Ghana. We don't need to come in the States, but we can ask for assistance in Ghana so that we get about 10 of our men being trained in forensic pathology to deal with the crime scene thing in Liberia and try to trace some of the murderers. So that one aspect. And the second aspect is, this is local. There's something called Ademia TP500. Ademia TP500 is a giant lighting system where, yeah, it's a giant lighting system that go with solar panel. We can erect, we can erect these things into terrible crime scene like real light. You can put one there. It can really illuminate that place. Traveler coming in the night, they will be safe. Then we mount a camera. They have density camera. We mount them all over in Liberia, in the crime area, to help us identify crime. All right? We can even beg for those ones, or we can even buy some. All right? Then apart from that,
let's do it. Let hold on one second, Dr. Mali. I want the other guys to come. Those three pieces, let's scramble over them. The Liberia is freaking out right now. It's like and I know exactly where you're going to be coming from. We don't need your advice. We can't tell our government. That's how he is they think the government, they are the owner of the government. That's a misinterpretation of himself. I don't know when he's going to realize that. But let me bring in the political reverend from Minnesota, a Minnesota politician, Terry Collins. Collins, what do you make of Dr. Mali's suggestions and points to the government? Anything there to take?
Well, Dr. Mali have some good recommendations, but all those recommendations have been achieved, unfortunately. One of the things is we do have pathologists. If you don't know, if you remember during President Weah time, there was a pathologist that came out to give some analysis, if you can remember that. All right. And pathologists are not the only means by which people are able to detect crimes. Pathologists only come in, I think, when there is a dead person or different thing, and all of that. So, especially forensic pathology, there are different kinds of pathologists, and we do have that. And you can't be coming to America to be baking American government as a sovereign nation to be giving you the kind of stuff. That's why you have a government that's supposed to empower you to have that. And Gregory have been doing well. Gregory brought the head of, I think, police, the former head of police in Minnesota to Liberia to give analysis projector on the projector to give direction. Gregory Coleman have been lobbying, he have been soliciting in the US for many things to help and all those kind of things. So when you're talking about that, I really don't understand, because these things are capital intensive. That is why the Gregory Coleman have been advocating that the government increase their budget, because it is only within the budget he will have those allocations. When you talk about 20 vehicles, Gregory Coleman was giving more than 20 cars when the puppet took over New York last year. More than 20 a brand new cars came from Ghana. Were you not here? Didn't you guys see it? You know, and other things, motorcycles. The police have motorcycles. All those things were engaged. But what it is, guys, we need a financial empowerment. The budget need to increase to advance our police structure to hire. Right now, the police looking for money to increase salaries. That is what the police worry on now. Money to increase salary. We can't be coming to America to be asking people, oh, yeah, please get our camera to use for CCTV. No, those are things that your government is supposed to be able to produce for you. I don't think the U.S. government will pay attention to that kind of stuff.
All right, let's square out. Let me go to Keto, and then we're going to bring in the Liberal and that of the guy from Delaware. Keto.
Yeah, so this network is credible, and it provides education, information, and entertainment to our greater listening audience and stuff like that. So, you know, Brother Terry, we have to correct you when you make mistake on the platform. Liberia does not have a pathologist. The last time we ever have a pathologist in Liberia, his name was Mr. Moses, Moses something. He was the only pathologist in Liberia. Under President Weah, they had to bring people from outside. They had to bring people from outside to do autopsy on dead people that was controversial.
But are you contradicting yourself? You say we never had no pathologist, then you say we only had one pathologist. So what are you talking?
You said, listen to me, Honor President, I said we had. You said, Terry, I'm speaking English here. You said,
okay, go ahead.
We got pathologists in Liberia. I'm telling you, Liberia do not have pathology or does not have pathology. Yes. We had, I used the word had, one pathologist in Liberia. His name was Mr. Moses something about. He got his two first name to be his, you know, first and last name. His two first name, and he was the only one. He was the only one in Liberia. He served on a dole. He served during the interim period in Liberia. Ask anybody who lived in the country, but I guess you didn't know him at that time. When President Weah was in office, all of the controversial deaths that happened in Liberia, they had to bring people from outside of the country to conduct a autopsy on those bodies. Okay, so moving forward, Mr. To and Mr. So and to the rest of the panelists here, you know, it's embarrassing when people lie their way into power and they try to lie their way into governance. They always catch up with them. I was surprised when this government said that they have increased electricity to a lot of people in the country, only to find out today that they are admitting that they past government raised the electricity rate in from Arico to Liberia 50 kilowatts or whatever. And this government on Joseph Boakai first year or on his second year, Arico said we reduce it to 7, meaning maybe one of the point Nima County will get it through the CG wire thing they're doing in Liberia. Where are we heading?
Mr. CEO, country on the security piece.
A country that is it all embedded in the whole thing. Security. If the country is dark, where is the security piece?
We're talking about law enforcement right now.
Where is the security piece? If the country is dark, it means that our security is compromised.
Thank you.
If we don't have electricity in the nation, where are we? We don't have the troops like ECHOMON that used to be all over the country, mining those checkpoints during the dark. it means people are going to get missing, people are going to be killed, and nobody will know.
Okay.
So we need courage in the nation.
Okay, thank you so much. By the way, just getting a message here from one of the stakeholders of this network, making some resounding recommendations, and the independent group on this network going to discuss it. Mr. Stowe, on Wednesday, let Terry and Mr. Stowe take a day off and rest the government. So, Dr. Malley, we're going to take it into our conversation room and have a vote over it as to whether the Liberal and Terry needs to take day off on every Wednesday to do. The Liberal.
Mr. So, Mr. So, as I stated earlier, first of all, let me welcome my brother. Joseph K. is watching, and he's been writing, and I don't agree with his writing, but he's been doing his best to
Will
write.
you please stop making fuss with people, please?
Mr. So,
why you want to?
I am speaking. You don't have to. I don't need you to quarterback my whatever it is. Let me say this. I stated earlier, I am not here tonight for friendship. I am not here tonight for kumbaya. I am here for truthfulness. Listen. You see, when we come to the public forum and we claim to be expert in areas that we have educated ourselves in, highly educated, folks will come out here and they will come out and tell the Liberian people, Dr. Malley, I have a recommendation, of course, a PhD recommendation coming from a PhD. We're willing to listen. But here's what people don't realize. Dr. Malley is a very smart person, sophisticated at the most. He comes out and wrap his recommendation. Clearly, we know it's a demand, but he wrap it up in a cloth of recommendation. We're not going to fall for that kinds of stuff. Listen to this. We recommend the government to come to America and ask for all cow. We recommend the government to come to America and say, talk to, in fact, right here in the state of Rhode Island, we'll go to our political gift. And if we were to do that, he's the same Dr. Mello said, oh, the old cow you're going to get in Liberia, that all you're going to get, you can't get something new. We're not going to accept it. Look, we are here. We are here. Every time you come up with a bogus idea, we are here to stand up. And look at this other young man. He's talking about you can't lie your way campaign stuff. What's his name? That other deputy minister that can't even go to Liberia. You can't go to Liberia right now. Former deputy minister. You can't lie your way to win. You can't lie. Look, listen. That's an old talk. This is what I want you people to understand. Because every time you make that statement, it's an insult to the Liberian people. It's an insult to the Liberians intellectually. Because you're saying to the Liberian that people lie to you and you're so gullible that you allow people to lie to you. Look, what you don't understand when President Baka was campaigning, why was his campaign statement? Liberians gravitate towards those statements. You think Liberians are just so lash along, they don't care. No, because President Baka was telling them exactly what was happening in the country. President Baka was explaining to them exactly what was happening in the country. And therefore, the Liberian people gravitate towards that. Last day, Mr. So, I'll say this and I'll take a leave, not a leave to get out, but I'll be quiet and let you run your show. You see, Mr. So, the liberal, the reason why I am the liberal and the political guru on the platform, because I'm truthful. And here's the thing here. As Kofa was saying, and Mr. Kofa is not the person that coined our terms, by the way. Fear nothing but to do wrong. Here is the issue. When we come out and face this camera, you are pretty much putting yourself out there. The fact that you don't know how to speak English, you're speaking total English, the people watching you. The fact you come out with bald hair shining all over the place, you bang your hair, everything, the people are watching that. Those are things you can't come out here, you can't hide it. And so when you come to face the camera, you have to be truthful. You have to be truthful. Don't hide yourself behind your PhD and come and mislead the Liberian people, and you think people are going to follow you because you got a PhD. I don't even have a GED. I don't even have a GED. But I am very, very truthful, Mr. So, and the
So
audience
boy,
are
you
very
talking about on the platform?
So,
somebody living in Connecticut over there in the submarine boat. Let me talk. I beg you. Please stay out of it. And I'm just going to say, Mr. So, I'm being very truthful. Let me finish. I'm done. I'm done. Let me say this. And so those of us, I don't even have GED. But we are truthful.
As a Muslim, correct.
Whatever. As a result, Nigerian, the audience here, they love the liberal. They love me. And I'm here to stay.
All right.
Thank you for that correction, Mr. To. I mean, as a Moses.
Thank you. So, yeah, this is what the name Meritos is. As a Moses, very
he was the only pathologist in Liberia.
Is he still alive or dead? I think as a Moses died, right?
He died.
But the English guy wrote out.
That's not true. Okay. I wanted to provide the information because Keto keeps saying that we lying.
I said, CEO, did you recognize the men of God?
Listen, we're
not going to do that.
Hold on one second. Terry,
we're not going to do that. You got to wait for his time.
No problem. You're right.
I'm going to come to Terry when Terry gets something to do.
Perfect decorum got to be on the platform going forward now.
Yeah, I'm speaking in my capacity as a co-chair. Let Moses have his
respect.
Let me go to Moses. Moses, let me just bring you in here. But when you have your patrons liberal to be so upset with little thing, and every little thing gets under his skin, that defeats the purpose of his argument, even if it was something that people to draw a good line of reasoning. I don't understand what is going on. We are talking about the national government. It's not about how much he earns, the government, the state of Sacramento, the cut his pay, the underpaying with his huge overtime, fabulous check. That's not what we are talking about. Each and everyone, to the extent he has extended his anger to listeners and viewers who have dispositions of his point. So how can Joseph Boyka listen to this kind of man? And if Joseph Boyka is listening to him, then that's a serious problem. So the Joseph Boyka who frowns on corruption yesterday is now paying deaf ears simply because he's listening to the liberal. I just thought it's good to point that out, but let me just bring you in here. You are a security analyst. You listen to Dr. Mali's point and things that he was suggesting, and you are pushing, I guess you are going somewhere direct. What was your argument?
Well, I don't have an argument. I just have an input. For one is that the closure of Gurley Street was done by the city mayor. And the city mayor controls the perimeters of the Monrovia area and can come up with nuisance rules and laws govern the city and the migration of people. So the city mayor, I'm not sure why they did that, but and the closure of also the Center Street, graveyard. He shut it down. That no activities, no barriers should happen there because it's a haven for drug dealers and a lot of crazy things going on over there, which I thought was a good move as far as security for the population is concerned. But I think Dr. Mali made some important points as far as making recommendation. And what I want to suggest to this platform is that we pick a specific day to come and see if we can talk about recommendation in every areas that we talked about. Now, looking at the security, let me inform this panel and our general public listening that yes, in fact, we have an organization called the Liberian Law Enforcement Association in this country. Remember the first time there was an issue in Liberia and Gregory Coleman made an announcement that we're going to reach out to people in the United States to help out with the investigation? It was that same group he was reaching out to. But I can tell you, Brother Mali, Dr. Mali, that process never continued, because we met with him when he came here to visit, and some of the things that he told us were very embarrassing, to the point that he did not follow through because he didn't have enough information to share with us so that we could put people together to go and help with the investigation. And case in point has to do with training. Training is very essential when it comes to law enforcement. Our law enforcement personnel down there in every area, I don't think has received training, the proper training to even carry out their duties and their responsibility. And I don't think there's any performance review that is being conducted by our security forces. I stand corrected. Okay? So he said the report he got was so embarrassing, he couldn't even send it to us. And he needed training.
When he said, so let's get insight, if you would, if you decide to with how he does this also. When you say it was so embarrassing, what was that?
The report was not adequate for anyone to comprehend. Period. The folks there that are not trained to secure crime scene. So even if a pathologist comes from here or people leave from here to go there and investigate, they would not be investigating anything because the crime scene would have already been polluted with a lot of people. Okay, so let's not put this all on the Burkhardt administration. And I try to be as independent as I can be, even though they try to put me in the category of a liberal. When the war, when Ellen Johnson Sirleaf took over, millions and millions of dollars were put into Liberia, was sent to Liberia, to the Ellen administration for the 12 years that she was there to address the security issue.
I wish now president was a vice president, correct?
Well, I understand that.
No, I'm just asking.
I'm not saying that.
I'm just asking. Was he the vice president?
Well, it doesn't matter, because we know that the vice president only have two responsibilities. That is to work at the pleasure of the president and to preside over the vote of the Senate. It's right in your constitution. And until the president directs the vice president doesn't do anything. And it's prescribed in our constitution, folks, and you know that. So now I'm only saying that Ellen and Burkhardt administration were given millions and millions of dollars.
Okay.
If you go back in 2011 and get the UN envoy to Liberia report on the security, it says that Liberia had not developed itself to sustain itself when it comes to security. And that has continued over the time. Okay. Let me bring it to Mr. Weah's administration. Do you know I was in Liberia in April of last year, and I drove by his house, his gates was open, and I saw the motorcycles used by police officers during the administration were parked in his yard. And he said the motorcycles were his personal motorcycles, and police could not use it. And I'm not saying they say, I saw it. So when we talk about security is everybody's business.
Which one of his houses?
Right there, when you talk about which one of the houses, which one he lives in. Next to the president, next to Fanati Kofa. I saw it with my two eyes. But let's not dwell on that. My thing is that Gregory Coleman asking for help is one thing. We have a lot of Liberians here, trained security personnel, who can get up today and be willing to go to Liberia to voluntarily provide services. And I know a lot of them because I've been in the area for a while. And we're waiting to go home. But when we reach out, no one reaching out to us. And just to tell Mr. Mali, so what you've started maybe is something that this forum can use to begin to infiltrate those huddles that we get. And there are a lot of guys in that organization I talked
So quickly,
about.
let me go to Terry.
Wait, CEO, let me just complete this. There are a lot of guys who are part of that organization I talked about that have gone to Liberia over and over to volunteer the services, and it's not adhered to. Might have brought something up that talks about lightings, and that's a crime prevention tactics. It's called SEPTIC, crime prevention through environmental design. Lighting alone can deter crimes. And I really respect the fact that he brought that up to say that that needs to happen. And he was just giving an example of some of the things that can happen. So I hope that this forum, Liberian Public Radio, can have a special section where we can look at an issue, take a day, and just do recommendations for our leadership so that it be in the interest of our people.
So this guy, so you are in
who's gonna vet your recommendation?
Liberal, you can't do that. We don't operate like this. I'm in charge. So he knows what I'm gonna say. That's why he tried to intercept. So you are this guy, the guy that drinking juice here all night. So you completely disagree with him because he's just thrown everything Mali tried to suggest. He was kind of like, we don't need that. You don't need to advise us. You don't need to tell us anything. You want to do this. So, am I correct?
Well, the thing about it, you can refuse recommendations.
My government will run a government based on LPR recommendation.
Refuse. No government will function.
Dysfunctional Unity Party surrogates.
Okay.
You accept the recommendation. And you go through it and see how you deal with it.
No, this is what you guys do. What you're doing now, forming coalition with the Liberal, and you don't want to disabuse him of what he's saying. That is okay.
The Liberal still throw you under the bus.
You have to be politically correct, and the Liberal, you don't want to. I am saying Dr. Mala was making these suggestions. You validate his suggestion because it's part of a strategy to prevent crime. On the other hand, Liberal disabuse and like, we don't need anything from you. And I'm asking you, and you don't want to denounce Liberals' point.
No, I'm just telling you that you can't refuse recommendation. I'm telling Liberal, any recommendation is okay.
Okay.
It's left for the administration to review and evaluate and see how it fits in their procedure.
So that
their policy and procedure. I definitely welcome Dr. Mali. That's why, in fact, I took it to another step and said we need to come and focus on UNE recommendations.
So you denounce Liberal? You denounce Liberal?
So Liberal was being dishonest, correct, to his country?
My man, get up. I'm speaking English.
Mose.
I'm not speaking Loma.
Okay.
So you denounce Liberal?
I'm not speaking Loma.
So the Liberal has been rejected.
I'm giving you my honest,
let me break into
I'm not disagreeing with nobody.
The Liberal has been rejected in this public forum of his bad policies and ideas. Let me break in Terry. Terry, I need you wanted to make a point.
The reason why Dr. Mali's point is flawed and that point needs to be rejected is because the recommendation does not have any technical it does not have any means by which Gregory Coleman is going to ascertain these things. Exactly. That one made a recommendation is flawed. Exactly. He said Gregory should come big.
Terry, let me be frank with you. Let me just interject here a little bit. I just told you there's a Liberian Law Enforcement Institute in the USA. Liberian Law Enforcement Association. That's the avenue that I'm reading into that you can tap into.
Let me just say our own analyst, Jared Barkham.
Exactly, Jared Barkham and I.
Yeah, okay.
You know, we're a resource. We are a resource that Gregory Coleman can reach out to.
So Dr. Mali's recommendation is that
he reached the resources.
Come and big you.
He comes to resources.
That's the channel, right?
I say, CEO, can I make correction?
No,
Let
no,
me
no,
tell
no,
you,
no, you're gonna wait for your time.
I'm trying to
Gentlemen,
speak.
gentlemen, I
His
tell you, let's
recommendation
do it.
is flawed and biased, and it have no iota of connection to a recommendation that I will accept. Because if you're giving us a recommendation, you should have done a study as to what you how you want this recommendation to be achieved. He don't have any means for which Gregory Coleman is going to channel this recommendation to ascertain the things that he recommending. So it's not a recommendation. It's a bluff. It's a means to mock the government. And Labor is right. Mr. Moses is helping him. Now, Mr. Moses is not Mr. Moses' responsibility to help him.
I'm thinking from
He's giving a recommendation.
perspective.
Let's do it one at a time.
Yeah, I understand, Mr. Moses, but you're helping him. If he's the one giving us the recommendation, he should be able to know exactly how Gregory Coleman is going to derive the achievement. That is why the recommendation is not in place. It's a bluff, and we don't accept it because we know it's a mirage to mock the government.
It's not a formal
recommendation. But to Keto here, he talked about, I know how many pathology. Do you remember the person who worked on Gloria Musu's cat?
They call him Dr. Benedict Cooley.
So he's not a pathology?
Go read about him. I just call him. I want you to read about him.
No. That's why I asked you now. You call his name, but you didn't remember. You were trying to correct me, and I told you that we got pathologists in Liberia, and you denied that. And then you said there was only one person. Somebody point another person here. So you know, this is the problem with us in Liberia is that we do not have the reputable requirement to carry on a professional pathology that will derive the result. That does not mean that we don't have pathology.
We don't have. So how do you think we're going to get those things?
Oh yeah, it is. First of all, I was even reading here that there was somebody who established a pathology laboratory to start training Liberians into doing pathology during President Weah time that even Keto don't even know. I thought he had idea on it since 2019. A program have been initiated in Liberia to formulating a pathologist laboratory.
Is it ongoing? Is it active?
Well, I'm not sure, but I'm sure that it's ongoing because government is continuity. But you know that your man Keto not supposed to be talking about that because that's supposed to be some of his achievement in the portfolio. But what I'm saying is to have a pathology to do a professional work in Liberia, you need the reputable equipment to carry it on. Not that we don't have pathology, but the reason why most of the time the recommendation is to bring in a foreign pathologist is because we don't have the technical equipments to be able to effectuate a professional work. That's my position.
Then this is where the big contradiction is. And it's sad that you were sad with Liberal. I think Moses is walking the front line here. Dr. Malik came and made a suggestion. And I know, in order to get a help, you got to reach out to the rightful people.
How? He didn't give us the way out.
Okay.
How make a recommendation cannot be acceptable. When you make a recommendation, Mr. So, you have to give us the how do we derive to what we want to achieve. Then it becomes a recommendation.
Hold on. Yeah.
How do we derive the result?
Here is the how here. Dr. Marley opens the corridor.
And it's faulty. It's faulty.
Hold on. Don't intrude into my please. You're not called. And Moses came out to say, hey, I am one of those, and that I know. And even Jerry Bwashin Bako, our own Jerry Bako here, that Moses here knows that. He formerly served as the president of the law enforcement, both US and Canada, correct?
Yep.
Yes. These are people within the rank and file. Hold on. These are people within the rank and file of Joseph Boyka. So Moses May has made recommendation to Helen Johnson Sirleaf he has gone and done an extensive operations and made recommendation.
So Dr.
And I
Mali,
have
do not
no
know Mr.
doubt-
Moses
hold
have
on,
that
hold on,
connection?
hold on, Terry, because you know, and I have no doubt Moses here, if we were to turn this camera off, I have to share this information with Joseph Boyka. He is a strong supporter of Joseph Boyka, Jared Barton. But for this guy to come here tonight, for you to back in, all he does here tonight, all night drinking juice. So we can't get anything out of him. It's ridiculous.
But
Mr. So,
you're trying to help your co-host come out of the hole.
Terry, just a minute.
I'm not happy.
Mr. So, Terry, just a minute. Mr.
We're
So,
not
you're
gonna- hold
going to
on,
have
we're not gonna
Dr.
be
Mali
delayed.
to come out here.
CEO,
You're
you
gonna have
gotta
Dr. Mali
control
to come
the
out.
forum here. You're not
Liberal,
Labour
wait for your
time.
time.
Control.
Liberal,
No,
wait
that's
for
not
your
your time.
time.
Wait for your
You
time.
brought Dr. Mali in, giving
Wait for
us
your
some faulty
time.
information. Now,
Okay, I will come
as
to
an
you.
educated
Hold on.
person,
Hold
Dr.
on.
Mali, what
Can
he
you
needed
pull
to do
Liberal in the back?
was to give us some of the
I
statistics.
can put you in the back.
Dr. Mali has refused to
Yeah,
give
put
us some
Liberal in the back.
statistics.
Liberal
Dr. Mali
is
spoke on
distracting and
something
disturbing the
he, as
show.
an educated person, do not have the statistics to back his, except to say he's giving recommendation. You give him recommendation on crime.
I said,
First of all, he
CEO,
started with
you gotta
Gellert Street.
you
He
gotta
started with
moderate
Gellert
the
Street.
forum.
What is the
sometimes
statistic
we gotta-
behind that Gellert Street stuff? He has
Bill-
none. So, and that's the kind of recommendation we should accept. It's faulty. It's baseless. Has no meaning whatsoever. And we are not going to allow Dr. Mali to try to derail the rescue train. We're not going to do that.
I don't think it was his intention.
Mose, you are here intellectually supporting this failed policy of Dr. Mali. And we're not going to accept that.
It's
either.
not even a
CEO,
requirement to
don't
give
let the
the
Liberal
Can
file
I
like
come
this.
in, please?
The people that's want to do that has
CEO,
the
can I
right on the
come in,
show.
please?
Hold on, gentlemen. People are listening.
Just for
We
the
need-
audience.
Yeah.
Let's speak one at a time.
It's not for us, because people that are listening, they need to have a takeaway. When we see all grown-up people here, to be a little bit, people say something and then they don't want to digest it and just draw the conclusion. That's
If
sad.
that kinds of thing they say gonna run my stomach, I don't need to digest it. What's wrong with you? I'm gonna take something that will run my stomach. I'm not gonna digest that. I will
Okay.
throw it right back at him.
So, Dr. Mali, hold on one second. Dr. Mali,
That's a
Yeah.
suggestion.
Dr. Mali, you know, this is the difference with us and them.
Who are
We are very tolerant. I'm talking about the Liberal and his son. We are very tolerant, and they are intolerant because of their
Sergeant
political-
Moses.
So, yeah, so we need to.
You got an independent boss who came on the show and said he's ready to fight. He came to
CEO.
fight tonight. You didn't
CEO.
put him in check.
Okay,
The
CEO.
man went and said he killed
Terry,
ready.
Terry.
CEO, let me conclude my point and let's
Yeah,
move to
let me tell you.
another. Yeah, another.
No,
issue.
it's my time. You give me a
hold on,
chance. Let me
just
win.
bring in
They're
Dr.
getting ready to
Mali.
fight among themselves. They
This is
call
not a
themselves
crossfire. This is
independent.
what these guys
Independent
want.
of
This is
foot.
what they want. This is what they want.
CEO,
We
let
will
me
not
just
allow them.
real quick.
So, Dr. Mali, please let
Real
us in.
quick.
Dr. Mali,
Yeah.
can you a little bit
security
educate these
analyst.
guys?
Let me just elevate the conversation to another level.
I beg you. Let
I
me
I did not come.
ridiculous
I did
point.
not. I'm not on the platform to please the Liberal because they have failed desperately. I did not come to do that. The Liberal they have positioned themselves to destroy Joseph Boyka. People who reject recommendation, those are idea killers. They're not in the interest of this man, not at all. Let me define for the Liberal and his political congregation a definition of a suggestion. When suggestions are made,
Suggestion.
come in now.
Okay.
When suggestions are made, they are taken into a strategy room. Based on our suggestion, you come up with a bold plan. You attach a time frame and identify your objective and see whether they are measurable or they are achievable. I hope that's a good message for the Liberal and his group.
Hey, no, I'm not listening to that kind of message.
Yeah. Lastly, these are suggestions. Liberia is a third world country. If people keep telling me, say, there's an era we're supposed to put money in, we got other era. Are there any other era for us to put money in when people are killing people, we can't catch murderer. Those are not appropriate area to put money in. And then that's sad. And lastly, I want to challenge Terry tonight. Terry keeps telling us there are pathologists in Liberia. Can you give me the listing of the pathologists in Liberia?
Terry, that your AT&T board now?
No. We're not just coming to come be challenging things here when we can't provide all.
But yeah, you are. You refuse to provide statistics, but you want Terry to come get
you. It is not my duty to give you statistics. It's my duty to give you suggestions that can be accepted or rejected.
And we're rejecting it. So what's the point?
Now, listen. It is your duty to make use of it and improve on it and get me involved. Let's
look at that. Look at this.
I didn't come here to please you. You guys are destroying. The two of you guys are destroying Joseph Boakai. You don't like this guy. All right? Liberia is a third world country. We are still living on handout. We are still, whether you like it or not, we are still living on handout. The budget you just pass half of it. That money you're looking for from abroad. Okay? And as a point of correction, Terry has misconstrued this whole thing. I said, and I want to quote myself again, since the IG came from here, he could write a letter and get a coverage letter from His Excellency requesting for use things. We need use things. All right.
Leave me right there.
Yeah. We need use things. No. We need use. No. Terry said. We had a lot of cars.
Let three of them be down here.
Yeah, let's see what be down there. Terry said we got a lot of car and motorcyclists coming from Liberia. I want the list of the motorcycles because I have never read that in the paper before. We need use things, and I will recommend and I will send a comprehensive package. We need use things to help our police department. The pathologists, we need more. St. Teresa said more they are there. We need more of them. People who love this government will listen recommendation. People who want to bury this government will fight against recommendation.
You know, before I go to Keto,
I really gotta go do something with the Omar. Let me just make this point before I leave. I beg you.
The how they can run away, CEO. The how they can run away.
No,
that juice Dr. Mali drinking.
The fact of the matter is that
I bring in water.
Security.
What color like that? What color water looking like that?
Libra. Security.
I'm at peace with you. I'm at peace with you.
One of the things that we need to understand when it comes to security is security should be nonpartisan. Security has to do with the interest and the safety of all citizens. So at no point I would engage in a conversation that talk about the political parties and their thing on security. That's what is important. I've said it before on this platform, that security are non-political affiliates. But in Liberia, it's totally different. You have police people wearing political regalia.
CDC uniform.
Okay? And that is wrong. When it comes to security, and some of us kind of believe in the credo, love Liberia, think Liberia, love Liberia, and rebuild Liberia.
Yeah.
We believe in that. But by the same token, we got to call ace and we got to call a spade a spade. And so when we come on this show, that's what we're trying to do and see how we can help the government. I think the suggestion by Dr. Mali needs to be looked at seriously, and this platform can actually put the road and see, you know where we come from. We the security people here, you know where we come from, and I think it will be important that the Liberia Public Radio can lead that whole with those recommendations. There are a lot of things, and we can even call some professional people here from the Liberian Law Enforcement Association in the Americas to be a guest here and hear their thing. But security is very important. Without security, there's no economic development.
Moses, let me just say this here.
No, hold
The board going to look into your recommendation.
Hold
The
on.
board going to look into your recommendation and see if we're going to go and have that discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mose, don't go away here. Please, 1 second. I know you want to go. Now it is glaring. The reason we have all of these problems that we are having is because of this other old man that we have here. People who are not willing to be a listener to take in something that people suggesting. That's the problem we have. That's the problem. All his eyes and devil, bo. You need to be going out there to find money. Not to come here to telling us. You need to go out there and meet with other multi-million-dollar companies, talk with your fellow board. But you come here, you Liberty Party drop out, you destroy your party, you are unable to make peace in your party, and you're seeking political refuge in Unity Party, and you think you are the owner of Joseph Boyka, that when Liberians will come here to discuss issues, we want to make suggestions. Even when we critique, we want to make suggestions. And you want to say, no, you can throw whatever tantrum you want to throw. Nobody is listening to you. This is why, in your own word, they don't know you, you don't know them. All you're doing is just the market where bamboo draw what you're doing. Okay? But Mose, thank you so much. Good you disabuse, you denounce this guy here. A hint to a wise is quite sufficient. If you continue to hang up with this guy, you will be corrupted as he is. Because he doesn't take no advice, and that's who he is.
No,
and
I respect
he is one of the failed progressive. He's one of the failed progressive, disappointed progressive that is loitering all around. No political party. Nobody want to hold in. LAP kicking out. Gabriel Bola party kicking out. Emma Claudia Sawyer party kicking out. Charles Walker Bronsky dropping. And now he hanging with who? Who just a
politician, just a worker.
So what you say, but I'm sorry. I'll be on the show tomorrow, Liberal.
If I invite you.
You see him? They say he won't invite you.
Security analyst, don't worry, we'll send you the link. We'll get it from other sources, we'll send it to you.
Oh man, he's a serious problem. You see, that why you not agree with him, forget it.
I like that tomorrow. But
I like that, Liberal.
All right, before we go, you saw the exhibitions of the superintendent's vehicle today?
My people.
This is
ridiculous.
I will talk. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Keta, I will get you. I will get you. Thank you, sir. Dr. Mali, thanks. The Reverend himself. Have a good night.
You must send me your email. I will send that into your office because I know you love this government.
All right. Thank you.
You saw that exhibition today, Dr. Mali?
I saw that exhibition and it was very sad. It was the saddest days in my life. Looking at that government singing, the tabletop issue not addressed. Parliament, they're vandalizing the resources at their will. And you get people parading with car. Now, you know the newest thing in Liberia now? I learned, according to sources, the beggar population is increasing. Can you imagine that? The drug issue, we're not even talking about it anymore. You parading car, is that development? Is that development?
It's just a clear
manifestation. I think I will get President. We are a plus on that. I didn't see that. He had other problems, but with the kind of economic situation we have in our town, really, I gave up.
It's and the Liberal and Terry going to speak it, and this is what we're going to.
No, they will classify it as development.
No, whatever they want to say, and this is where they're going to show themselves. But I saw that today, and I watched it for a little while. Like, wait a minute, what sort of, is there public relations or some sort of publicity? Government, as a sovereign government, you fulfilled your obligations as a state to provide security There could have been a little mini press conference, and I present those keys to the superintendent, a little mini program, whatever. But to the extent that traffic, you disrupt other peaceful citizens from moving around, and you think that when something that you're supposed to do, something that you should have done even in the first place, and you have other people who has caused the police to be handicapped to the extent that they were unable to provide safety for our people. After 1 year, you buy pickups and you flying them all over to prove what? That is so ridiculous. It is absurd. We do not. I think maybe we are who has not ever worked in government should have done that. But to see this old man who was born in government, who is still in government,
born in government,
to allow this sort of things to happen on his watch, I don't want to see when we're going to have what. I mean, I just don't get it. Let's be honest. Yes, it is a good thing because I want our police, our law enforcement. It's shame. It is embarrassing to see police outside urban Liberia. They don't even have motorbike. They don't have car. Anytime little thing, civilian goes and burn those things. Now they have something to respond to crisis. That is great. But the level in which it was addressed or approached today, I think that is it's ridiculous. Let me bring in Terry here. We allowed.
You joking on me? I ain't said nothing yet.
You don't need to talk.
Okay, then you know what? And tomorrow, you know, all the coming because tomorrow they will not allow you. They will not allow me.
That's true.
The independent buzzer will kill tonight. Go ahead,
Mr. So,
Yeah, that kept
it's
up
not
on,
only
man.
for me, it's childish and it's embarrassing. When people, when people try to compensate, it becomes terrible. This government, what it did today, it was compensating for the gross disrespect of rule of law, the lies they told Liberian people that they could fix things that they are not fixing. So they're finding every little thing to put out there. You know what they said? That all that glitters is gold. That's what they're doing. They're throwing every shiny object to Liberian people and say, you see this gold. And Liberian people are not buying it anymore. When you fail to address the bread and butter issue, when you fail to change the sidewalk that he described under President Weah, that he built, he said he built roads, he built sidewalk for roads. When you fail to build roads that people can then look at and say, yes, the government really can rescue our country. When you fail to open the university over a whole year, when you fail to do all these things, when you fail to even electrify the country, as you say you're going to do, it has reduced the input of current in Liberia to way to the lowest, even before during our civil crisis, the current being reduced now under this administration. So you want Liberian people to have little hope. You take few vehicles and parade it on the streets and for chiefs and whoever you send it to. This is sad. The Liberian people say, can I chop off food on Liberian people table? No. Address the bread and butter issue. Those are minute stuff, And I will give kudos to the people that decided to give chiefs and stuff because it's good for them. But this the thing here, Terry, Mr. Benedict Cooley at the JFK, they got something where they do post-mortem examination on bodies. All right, they were training the guys, and who opened that school when Dr. Ase Moses. At the time, he was the only pathologist in Liberia. Knew he was failing out. They tried to train people into those era. Those people and the people that are training, that some people today can sit and say, I'm a mortician, I'm this. They are the same people that are doing that stuff. This is the reason why under President they had to send for expert pathologists outside to come and conduct some of those stuff in Liberia because we do not have a seasoned pathologist anymore. If you go back to Acid Moses, look at his career. Go back to him. You remember when Mervyn Pan was killed and his neck was dug into? He the one came out with the pathologist report. And everything he said about Mervyn Pan was accurate on the money.
Okay. All right. Let me bring in Terry. And after Terry, unfortunately, the time has caught up with us. The Liberal will do his closing statement tomorrow. Period. That's it. Terry, let's hear you.
First of all, Mr. So, thank you.
No, co-host, you're going to close it after Terry, but let's Terry speak. Let's Terry go ahead. When Terry
Dr. Mali told us he was recommending. He was not. He didn't say suggesting.
Oh, Liberal telling you people.
If you say suggesting,
Terry, I beg you, because if I don't pick up Clarence,
okay, go ahead, Mr.
Okay, Clarence, let's hear you.
Hey, see, how you doing?
Very good. How the show going?
The show tonight, you already put you in the little. The key thing that you've been discussing tonight, but sometimes this station is one of the stations that a lot of people listen to. So the deception that Dr. Mali is trying to introduce on the show tonight is what that is one that really being hurting me. He wants for our country to come there for Tonga playing in America.
Come on.
All the country in the world that the American government has been giving assistance to their suspended for 2 months. Then they sit there, we will be behind this. No, listen. If we really want to make a recommendation, there are a lot of good things he said concerning the life, this and that. But if you will come up and say, you are ready to, like Liberia say, God secure can go there in the night. So we are bringing them never to a family show now. That means your sister will tell you, oh, because I went to a Gala Street today and you are no way for no part. So that means Gala Street is not safe for the country. The key thing are happening. We are not saying that the country is safe. But if you want to make any kind of recommendation, don't be on the family level and come up to say, we can pay for all clothes, we can pay for all booze. So are we a sovereign nation or we want to be on the dependent syndrome? Pretty fair to our country. And one of the key things one of the points I call tonight to raise here is concerning the drugs in Liberia. This is so if we really Liberian we want for our country to improve, and Liberia are leading the foreign national to be bringing drugs in our country. That is the Kenyan woman that were arrested around international airport last week Saturday.
Yeah.
And the Liberian guy is the one that accommodated the lady. He's not the American. He the one that intercept the travel for the woman from the airport and always escort a woman. You got the Nigerian. What are we doing to our country? Are we not seeing our young people dying? It's very concerning, Mr. So. But these things, many of the network are not bringing it up. And CEO, I want to tell you, thank you tonight. You made a statement tonight when you opened the show concerning Jim Tanu Kaba. My begin. We all very well say my place here. Kaba. It's a very honest fighting. I'm telling you, I'm telling you tonight. Thank you for me at least to look behind the scene to bring in that young man up. Thank you, CEO.
Yeah.
Thank to the board, Clarence.
And the board, the chairman of the board.
Clarence, the woman just like credit, don't mind.
Thank you, CEO.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah, James is a very
when Dr. Mali
to do something. Go ahead, Mr. Collins.
when Dr. Mali said
Terry.
Give me a chance, my brother.
I know, give you a chance. I want to give you something. I don't tell you something. When you were talking about the poor shouldn't come to back, Greg Como was in your own state and he was asking what the guy name, what the guy who was running to be councilman, Winfred Russell. Winfred Russell introducing to the police chief, and the police chief was able to give him some stuff to take it back to Liberia. So the recommendation Mr. Mali is making is not a bad recommendation.
Dr. Mali switch. So he now with you NMO. So they forget about that other recommendation talk.
So yeah,
he said he's smart. Dr. Mali is a smart leader. He said he's suggesting. So say he's suggesting he pivot 300 and I don't know how many degrees is okay because it's suggestion. You can just say whatever in a conversation and that's it. But a recommendation must be based on expertise and careful analysis. And that is not what he brought tonight. But let me show you something. And Keto, I want to dispute what you said to that. Oh, they need to bring people. Dr. Bido, Dr. Anne-Marie Bido. All right, a gynecologist, oncologist, and associate professor at Mount Sinai Medical Center in New York. This particular Mount Sinai is present currently in Liberia. It was established during Joria time. Honor this woman to train pathologists since 2020. Is it who has significantly contributed to improving women's health care in Liberia through initiatives like establishing the country's only pathology laboratory and training healthcare workers in surgery and obstetrics. She is recognized for her extensive work with the Liberian Ministry of Health and JFK Hospital there. She's training people.
Terry, gynecologist, that's a different thing though. If that's what he's talking about, because I didn't hear you saying gynecologist. We're talking about pathologists, gynecologist.
She is training people to be pathologists.
How can somebody who has a gynecologist treatment to be pathologist?
No, you see, what we need to understand here is that these are all related.
No. What kind of Bible you be reading?
So you don't know that these things fall on a pathology. You don't know that all these things fall on a pathology. To be a pathologist, there are different kinds of pathology. Kinds of pathology. This is pathology. Go and check it out.
No, Terry,
it's on the internet.
Getting it wrong.
Okay.
But go and check it out. Go check it out.
Let Terry tell you,
I don't know. These are all pathologists.
Okay. All right. Well,
let me read another one. Mount Sinai helps Liberia build its sole pathology lab. Mount Sinai helped Liberia build its sole pathology lab. Update March 5th, 2020. Go and check that out. This particular doctor is a pathology.
All right. I don't want to argue that.
So you guys can hear you. These are technical error, scientific error, to see whether if they don't correlate with the job specifically in pathology.
And the reason I raised that alarm because I did hear you saying gynecologist. So if we talk about pathologists and gynecologists, I will have to look into that. That is okay. But please be careful with this guy because he has managed to really remodel you, restructure you to go his way. And that is understandable. But be careful with the liberal.
You know that sometimes I can divert with liberal view. Most of the time we can have argument. But the problem here, Mr. So
you didn't speak about the cars, though.
Which car?
Those are the pickups exhibition today.
Oh yeah, the pickup. It was unnecessary.
Oh really?
It was unnecessary. The pickup.
No, I want to tell about Terry. He's not like a liberal. The liberal, he would throw his hair in the.
Don't jump the gun too soon, please. Don't jump the gun.
No, the message was unnecessary. That is that's just enough. It speaks to volume.
Dr. Mali.
Not something here to be done.
Okay, you see how liberal looking at Terry? That thing was so cheap.
So, Mr. To, just for information, I think the word Terry talking about here is pathology. The one at NGY is a broader subject. It is a study of disease. Look here, they got a gallery. Pathology is indeed a broad and a complex subject that encompasses the study of disease
the man is supporting
that
you coming to be professor
causes mechanism and effect on the body. It's a multiple discipline. Mr. To, tomorrow.
I'll tell you. Look,
Mr. Sophie in the show.
Good night for everybody. One thing I noticed tonight. You look like Conor Ridley tonight. I don't know. The only thing missing is the afro, but you look more like Conor Ridley tonight. I'm not too sure what the deal is. But
Liberal, get it, man.
The difference between pathology I don't know.
Yeah. They're my own pathology science I'm giving you right now. But let me say this very quickly, Mr. We sat here. You call yourself independent. President, we are using a gay chief then car with a picture on it. You understand anything, you? You said nothing. President, we are giving chief them cars. Not even superintendent, but you're giving chief them car. Zoe them car and put a picture on it. Even though the Liberian government are giving them the car, but you're putting a picture on it. That now you're coming to say that one will can't listen to. My big man, your fan play to say that I gave you a hard time tonight. And I know next time when you're coming Friday, you will be careful. I you try your lamp because I'm ready for you. I'm coming to come or kumbaya. Good night. Beautiful show.
Terry, I just put it in our chat room. In the chat room, read it.
But I see you, your co-host, drinking what color a guy over there? The Rhode Island juice.
I drink water.
What kind of water color? What kind of water in Liberia got color like that?
Isn't it, Terry?
Okay, guys. Yeah, good night.
Terry, see what I put in the chat room?
Yeah, I will check it. I will check it. Get
okay. I think what we're talking about is forensic pathologists. That's what I'm talking about. Forensic pathology.
Pathology. You're talking about forensic. Forensic.
Yes.
That's why I say there are different kinds of pathology.
Yes.
There are different kinds.
So the forensic pathology was asking Moses.
We gotta go. Let's hear Dr. Malik.
All right. Yeah. Read about it and see.
Yeah. So what I want to suggest here is this. Just go to the liberal. Yeah, just go to the liberal and the men of God. You see, I strongly believe that recommendation, suggestion, one is positive. It is not binding. We can accept them, we can reject them, we can improve on them, we can recraft them, but one is positive, is in the interest of our country. I think we should always appreciate it. Collins, you know, I know, our country is draining. People are stealing more than what we have to work with. So when people say we don't have money to do this, it baffles me a lot. Okay? So the question now is, we need to prioritize. What are those most important areas? Since you're talking about you people suggestion is you don't want to use things, okay, but you still rely on handout. You still begging for money all over the place. All right. So since we don't want to use things, then let's look at area of importance where we can put money in, and the crime issue is a serious issue. When the quarter said I add my relative, I always add my relative has situation in our country. I even ask some friends, okay, they share with me. Whether they are true or not, they share with me. But I think suggestions are not weapons to bring anybody down or to destroy anybody. We all can improve on it for the benefit of our country. Yes. And suggestions are not binding, they're not forced. But it's like sometimes we come from that background. Our police department, when I went to Liberia last year, look at the uniform those guys wearing, oh man. Get it when you put chloride water on it. All right. So when you can use police uniform from here, it's better than that uniform the people wearing there. We are third world country. So if you get 3,500 used uniform, what's the problem with that? If you got 3,000, 5,000 used boots or used car, what is the problem with that? Terry, you know, I know. The police car here, when they say they put use the thing, so now 3 months, 2 months they pack it, so now 6 months. For us, that should be a used thing for our police department. So, I mean, I don't know. But I think we should be going that direction. We don't have the money. Because why? The one we're eating is more than the one that are available.
All right. Okay. So, Dr. Mali, we will continue to do what we're doing because it's sad.
CEO, let me just, you see, now that Liberal and men of God don't want my suggestion, But because it's coming from the independent mind,
Good night.
that's
Good
the
night.
problem. Not that they know in their heart it's a good thing. But
Anyway,
because
it's boiling his
independent
blood
world,
now.
they are the problem. They are where the problem is coming from.
Look, Dr. Mali, your analyses are brilliant. But sometimes because you want to be in a corner or kettle then, and the people who read it, you compromise your analysis. And that is what I can be saying, because let me tell you, I listen to you on the show many times. When you ready to be neutral and the CEO is not sitting in the hot seat, all right, you can present perfectly.
On my show, when he can't join us.
Yeah.
When he come and join us, that when he can really.
But the moment the
really
CEO show up, then kettle follow.
Forget it.
The whole net, Dr. Martin, you can't get nothing straight out of Dr. Martin. Everything he's talking will be compromised.
So Tabata, don't even use the English, good English word. So Tabata after that. Good night, Mr. So. Thank you for the show.
God, all the people Donald Trump employing, are they giving their allegiance to heaven? Donald Trump had told them the allegiance straight to me. So when they see, what you want me to do?
I'm clipping this one.
Is that a confession?
What?
No, so when you come I want for the Liberia to have something to take home to relax.
Okay, I will
clip this. Don't worry, I will be in the Cali position. Yes. You know, I'm
like that's a slip of tongue. That's a
liquor talk. That truth confession. What? Okay. Good night. I'm clipping it. That will be my opening.
I know.
I think you should find an opening, try to look for the good of this government, what it's doing. That's what you're supposed to be doing. But instead, you're just grabbing things here and there, so it's not going to do you good. Good night, Liberal. Good to have you here.
But I thought you were going to talk about the woman.
I'll be off tomorrow. I'll be on your show. I want you send me the link, please.
I will send the link out.
I thought we were going to talk about the corruption case, but maybe tomorrow, Liberal.
Well, that's what we're trying to talk about. But this is not something for you.
And not in my interest. I will not talk about it tomorrow.
No, but CEO, no need to talk about the corruption. You see. The persona, there are a lot of good things in the
okay, I'm not forgetting. Here is the challenge. Terry, the Liberal. The Liberal wing versus the independents. Now everything's settled. We want to dissect. We want to go back to the SONA address by the president. Are you guys open for us?
That trap. We're not discussing it. We're not going back there again. That trap, they mentioned it. We're not going back there. We're not going back there. We're feeling with it.
CEO, I think you're in the right place. It's necessary.
But how you want to discuss what happened if
but that trap. That trap.
He's a mess. All right, good day.
Yeah, good
Okay. Oh my goodness. All right, folks. That's how we're going to do it this evening. I want to thank you so much to all our viewers and our listeners, your comment. Mary A. Tozo, I hope I call your name. I believe you said this is the first time. So we want to thank you so much. Sometimes we have this sort of crack joke here. We got to add some human, feelings into this conversation. It doesn't mean we do not take serious to what we do. We want to thank you. Hopefully, you will join us again here on this network. We always welcome new viewers, listeners, your comments, your tweets. You are at liberty as well to critique us, just how we call names. You can call us as well. I mean, it is why it is. We want everybody to speak out. We don't sanction voices on this network. Entertainment, more or less, is less because there are a lot of entertainment ongoing, and there are really important, vital issues that we need to talk about in the country. And this network is very, very much inclusive. You can be a Seditions, you can be a UPIS, whoever, free thinker, whoever. you are most welcome. We incorporate all voices here. But everybody, even down to the analysts, they are also held responsible to things that are said, including the lay host as well. If we are to hold people at the higher up accountable, we must also be held accountable. Can you send me the link? Oh, definitely. We would like to, even you want to be a contributor here, we can definitely. I will be excited, and we have extended this information here. It doesn't matter. So I want to take your email address. Let me just put our number here. I meant to put that number up, but I didn't do it, and I can send you, except I will not be on this Friday. This Friday, I usually here on Wednesday, Friday, but I'll be on, by the grace of God, on Sunday. Friday, one of our community leaders, former community leaders, the former vice president of the Liberian community in the Ocean State of Rhode Island, this weekend, he will be laid to rest. We will be providing coverage. Hopefully, the Liberia will sit in for me. We're going to be providing coverage on Friday, the wake, and then Saturday, the funeral services, but at funeral service, and then when Sunday evenings are going to be here with the program, The Examiner. I will be glad. I see your email. I'm going to take note of it. Let me just put the LPR number here. Even if you choose to, join us here, certainly we are glad to do that. Oh, sometimes I forget. Sometimes I can forget this number 433, I believe. Let me see here what I have here. But okay. This is the LPR number here as well. Disregard the cash out, zero, blah, blah. But this is the number here as well. When you call that number, you can get me. But I will take your email and I want to shoot you an email text. Can you send me the link? And then we can, that would be great. I think we need to have, let me just take that up before I sign off. I'll send you a text email and then maybe include the number there as well. At yahoo.com. Okay. All right. I think, again, like I always say on this network, folks should not leave. Hey, Jaji, my man, long time. Where are you from? This video, why you're in Liberia? I tell you, Omega, you're on a position, you are in a little corner that we couldn't hear you, but good to have you back. How everything, hope you are doing okay, the family as well. So I have your email address here, and I will send you a test email, and then we can connect from there. Until then, folks, have a pleasant evening. If you are in the East Coast, we are hearing you're going to be snoring. So please be safe. And then, Super Bowl. Okay, yeah. Besides Sunday, we always hear Wednesday. Going to be back here. Yeah. All right, not a problem. Thank you so much. Have a pleasant evening. Bye bye.